You're 15 and 9 months pregnant. No hospital, no painkiller, no sterile tools, no safe way to cut the baby out if it gets stuck. What you're about to do has killed more women than every war in history combined. And every person alive is the proof that someone survived it. Let's count the ways they almost didn't. So here's the question almost nobody asks. Why is having a baby so deadly for us when it's barely a problem for almost every other animal on Earth? We're going to count it down. 10 ways childbirth could kill you in the ancient world. And we're starting at number 10, with the best care that world could offer. Then it gets worse, step by step, all the way back to the brutal reason it was doomed from the start. Because the most dangerous version of this isn't in ancient Rome. It's far, far older. And number 1 is still written into your body, right now, whether you'll ever give birth or not. Number 10, the best care money could buy still killed you. Even the best care in the world still killed you. By the height of the Roman Empire, childbirth had real experts. A Greek physician named Cyrannus, working in Rome around the year 100, wrote a 4-volume manual on it that doctors leaned on for the next 1,500 years. There were trained midwives, special birthing chairs with a crescent cut into the seat, 3 assistants to hold the mother. This was the most advanced obstetrics on the planet, and it still wasn't enough. Historians estimate that 1 to 2 mothers out of every 100 died to childbirth in ancient Rome. Now that means most women did survive any single birth. The idea that most women died in childbirth just isn't true. But here's the trick of it. A woman didn't give birth once. She did it 5, 6, 8 times across her life, rolling the same dice every time. So let's start taking the experts away and watch the odds get worse. Number 9, the wandering womb. Peel back that Roman polish, and underneath it, almost nobody understood what was actually happening inside a woman's body. Greek and Roman physicians believed the uterus was basically an animal that roamed around inside you, drifting up towards your heart and choking you when it got unhappy. So the real medicine was often charms and prayers to Juno Lucina in Rome, or to Taweret in Egypt, a protector goddess drawn as a pregnant hippopotamus. And when prayer wasn't enough, here's what they do sometimes. They tie the woman to a wooden frame or a ladder, turn the whole thing upside down, and shake it hard, trying to jolt the womb back where it belonged. It was called succussion. Picture the worst pain in your life, and then being flipped over and rattled by people who are certain they're helping. Even Galen, the most famous doctor in Rome, doubted it did anything at all. Number 8, the pregnancy turns on you. Sometimes the pregnancy turned on you before the birth even started. In some women, late on, blood pressure climbs to a lethal level and the body erupts into violent seizures. Today we call it eclampsia, and we can usually stop it. Back then, a healthy mother could be fine in the morning, start convulsing by the afternoon, and be dead by night, with the baby gone too. The Greek Hippocratic writers, 2,400 years ago, noticed that convulsions in a pregnant woman almost always meant death was coming. They were right, and there was nothing they could do but watch it happen. This is the thing about ancient childbirth. The danger didn't politely wait for the delivery. It could come for you weeks early with no warning at all. Number 7, the bleeding nothing could stop. The bleeding. It's always the bleeding. The single most common way childbirth killed was hemorrhage. After the baby comes out, the womb has to clamp down hard to seal off the raw wound where the placenta was attached. A wound about the size of a dinner plate. When the womb doesn't clamp, a woman bleeds out, and she can do it in minutes. We stop that today with drugs and surgery. In the ancient world, nothing worked. A midwife could pack the wound and pray and watch a brand new mother go gray and cold while her healthy baby cried in the same room. Fast, quiet, and completely unstoppable. Number 6, the fever that came after. And if the bleeding didn't take you, the fever might. You could survive the labor, survive the blood. Hold your baby and let yourself believe you've made it. And then, 2 or 3 days later, the fever would start. It's an infection of the wound left inside after birth, and it's called childbed fever. With no concept of germs and unwashed hands reaching inside, it spread easily and it killed slowly. A woman who'd been laughing on Monday could be dead by Friday, and not one person on earth could tell her why. Surviving the birth, it turned out, only got you to round 2. The most dangerous stretch of a new mother's life often started right after everyone had begun to celebrate. Number 5, when the baby couldn't come out. The baby gets stuck. This is the nightmare underneath all the others: obstructed labor. The baby is turned the wrong way, or it's simply too big for the opening and it will not come out. Today, that's a routine C-section and everyone goes home. Back then, a woman could labor for 2, 3, even 4 days in pain you can't imagine, with the baby wedged and slowly dying inside her. A skilled midwife might reach in and try to turn it. Soranus described exactly how. Sometimes it worked. Often, nothing worked, and the two of them died slowly together. And when the midwife finally felt that the baby had gone still, there was one last thing she could do. Number 4, the unspeakable choice. When a baby was stuck and already dead, leaving it inside meant the mother would die too. So to save her, ancient physicians performed an embryotomy. They used hooks and blades to take the baby apart inside the womb and remove it in pieces. Soranus lists the instruments by name. And here's the part that everyone gets wrong. You're probably thinking they should have just done a C-section. There's a story that Julius Caesar was born by one. He was not. We know that because his mother lived another 45 years, and in the ancient world, cutting a baby out from a living woman killed her every single time. There was even a Roman law going back to the 7th century BC that ordered the cut, but only once the mother was already dead, so the child could be buried apart from her. For thousands of years, the operation that saved millions of mothers today was the surest sign that one had just died. Number 3, the hunter-gatherer floor. Now take all of it away. No Soranus, no birthing chair, no midwife with her tricks, no hooks, no law, nothing. This is childbirth for almost the entire human story. The version our hunter-gatherer ancestors lived for hundreds of thousands of years. A woman, often with barely any help, facing every single danger we just counted. And not one tool to fight any of them. She might be squatting in the dirt or gripping a tree, and her mother or a sister beside her if she was lucky. And luck was most of what she had. Everything Rome and Greece and Egypt built was a thin, late, desperate attempt to claw back a few percent. This, the raw version, is the most dangerous thing a human being has ever routinely done. And it was the normal Tuesday of our entire species for longer than civilization has existed. Number 2, the walk through history. So here's how much it has changed. You'd think that over thousands of years, with every clever doctor and every new idea, the odds would have crept steadily better. They didn't. From the Stone Age, through Egypt, through Rome, and for more than 1,000 years after, a woman's chance of dying in childbirth barely moved. For almost all of human history, having a baby was about as dangerous as it had always been. The line only finally broke around 100 years ago, with clean hands, blood transfusions, and safe surgery. That's it. 3 or 4 generations. We didn't slowly outrun this danger. We lived inside it, almost unchanged, until practically yesterday. And it spared absolutely no one. In 54 BC, Julia, the daughter of Julius Caesar himself and the wife of Pompey, died giving birth, and her baby died with her. The most powerful family in the world, and it took her just the same. Number 1, evolution designed you wrong. And this is the reason none of it worked. The reason our species, almost alone among animals, has to be helped to give birth. It comes down to one brutal trade-off built into your body. Walking upright narrowed the human pelvis into a tight, twisting passage. And at the same time, we grew enormous brains, which means an enormous head. So you've got the biggest baby head in the animal kingdom trying to fit through one of the tightest openings, and it barely does. Scientists call it the obstetrical dilemma. It's why human babies are born so early and so helpless. They're basically pushed out before they're finished because waiting any longer means the head won't fit at all. Other animals drop their young, and those young walk within an hour. We are the species that turned birth into a knife's edge and then paid for our minds in our mothers' lives, generation after generation, for 200,000 years. You're not just lucky to be here, and it doesn't matter whether you'll ever give birth yourself. You are the prize at the end of the most dangerous game our species has ever played. Won by an unbroken line of women who walked into that room knowing the odds and walked back out just enough times in a row for you to exist. The video on screen now is the one you'll want to watch next. Thanks for sticking with us. Be sure to subscribe to Crio's story for more.